YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with the video where we're going to be talking about William Jackson and possible trade destinations for William Jackson, and also we have the injury report for the Washington Commanders headed into their matchup versus the Colts. Got some big guys that are going to be out, and we have some big guys that are going to be questionable and possibly play. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure to go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So let's first start by talking about the obvious, and that is cornerback William Jackson. Now, I want to first start by saying you see teams in the division making moves, whether that is, shipping off pieces or adding pieces. And in the case of the NFC East, since everyone not named the Washington Commanders is positive and basically looking like a playoff team, everyone is adding to their team, whether it's the Giants trading, or not the Giants, but the Cowboys getting defensive linemen, or the Eagles getting Robert Quinn, or the Giants getting, some draft capital or some pieces because of the Kadarius Toney trade. They're all adding to their team, and Washington is looking to deal. They're looking to get rid of someone, and that is going to be William Jackson. So it's obvious. I mean, the way Ron Rivera talks about him when, Nikki Giabala asks him a question about William Jackson, or any reporter for that matter, is he tries to just play it off as if it's just an injury. But the way he talks, you can just tell they're trying to trade him. You know what I'm saying? Ron just said, we're going to focus on the guys that we have here now. We're not going to worry about that. It's too early. They obviously want to trade the guy. William Jackson, I already said when he had said that he didn't request a trade, I didn't believe him. He requested a trade. He wants to be out, and I don't blame him. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it was a bad marriage. I feel like William Jackson didn't fit our scheme from the beginning. He shouldn't have been here, and I don't think he worked hard enough to try to get into this game. It just was a bad mix. I don't think William Jackson is a bad corner. I think when William Jackson goes to another team, he's going to ball out. You know what I'm saying? I just think he didn't fit Washington's scheme, and we got to know that as a staff, because obviously we want to run zone. So why did we go get a man corner in the first place? That didn't make sense. I'm not going to keep hampering on that point though, because I always talk about that point. It was a dumb signing at first. Dumb signing from the beginning because he didn't fit our scheme, not because he personally is just a terrible corner. He just doesn't fit what we run here. And having a man corner, it had his positives at a point in time, but for the most part, it just didn't work here. Okay, and it's no point to keep trying to work a relationship that neither side want to be a part of. You just got to let it go, and it's that time. Washington has a week before the trade deadline to get rid of this guy. But I'm not expecting much from William Jackson's, trade. I'm really not, because he hasn't done much for Washington to even get something really worthy of, a fifth or a fourth round pick. The most we probably get out of a trade for William Jackson is probably, at best, maybe a 6. You know what I'm saying? But I wish there was, we could say, this guy is really good. Just look at the film. If you put him in position to be good, he can be good. He just didn't fit our scheme. I wish we can do it like that. But teams is going to have leverage because he hasn't played well here. And they can also pull up the fact that he's dealing with a quote-unquote back injury. Now, I don't think that back is severe. I think that's just a cover-up. I think whatever team he lands on, he's going to play that week he gets traded. I just feel like the back injury is just a cover-up for a reason why he's not playing. They don't want to just come out and say, yeah, we're going to trade this guy. He doesn't want to be a part of the team, so we're just going to let him go. They're not going to do that. Although I would prefer them to do that, they're not going to do that. So I personally have some teams in mind that could possibly use William Jackson's services. A couple of teams that are in the playoff mix that is a little thin on the back end. And the first thing that comes to mind for me is Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Minnesota is a team that's at the top of the NFC North right now, but they really don't have much at the cornerback position outside of, Dantzler and older Patrick Peterson. They really don't have much. They need cornerback help, and their cornerback position has been really weak. You know what I'm saying? For the past years, whether it's an older Xavier Rhodes or a Trey Waynes, I just don't remember the last time the Minnesota Vikings has had a real good shutdown corner. And I think William Jackson could fit perfectly in that system. I think he can go to Minnesota, go to a winning team, go to a team that's desperately needing cornerback help, and he can go right in and probably be their cornerback one. To be honest with you, and alongside Dancer, and that could be a good, a good unit. And obviously, you got the veteran leader in that secondary, safeties and quarterbacks included, and Harrison Smith. So they got some pieces on that back end, but just the cornerback position is weak itself, and it definitely can use an upgrade. And Minnesota could be the first team that I look at and be like, they need some cornerback help now. The second team, is the LA Chargers. Now they're in the mix, you know what I'm saying, in that AFC West, and obviously we think the Chiefs are going to be the division winners at some point, but they're still in the mix, and they've dealt with a ton of injuries, especially with the cornerback injuries to J.C. Jackson. His season is done, so they need to be looking to upgrade that, and William Jackson could be a perfect opportunity to upgrade that for the rest of this season. They already got, Asante Samuel Jr., and they need somebody to pair him up with. And William Jackson could be a good fit, considering the fact that J.C. Jackson is now out for the season. I think William Jackson can go right in, and also you can think about long term when J.C. Jackson gets back, you can have three good cornerbacks. Because, again, William Jackson is not bad. He's just all about the scheme and where does he go in the fit. And Washington, he didn't fit here. Clear as day. So I think he can go into, LA and play for the rest of the season alongside with, Asante Samuel Jr., just so that secondary and that cornerback position doesn't, fall off a cliff, because they have some talent on that back end. Asante Samuel Jr. was good last year, and they decided to pair him up with J.C. Jackson, but J.C. Jackson got hurt. So now they're looking for another counterpart to pair up with Asante Samuel Jr., and this person could be William Jackson. Next team. How about their rival, the Kansas City Chiefs? Kansas City Chiefs, they have some solid pieces on that defense, whether it's the L'Jarius Sneed or I believe they drafted a rookie this past year. They got some pieces on that defense, but they can definitely still look to upgrade. They definitely can. And I think William Jackson will fit perfectly in that team and in that market. The Chiefs are really good, but they're always looking to add pieces. I mean, they just got Kadarius Toney, so they're definitely in buy mode now and definitely in win now mode. So they could use a William Jackson III to possibly help that secondary to get even better. Even though, again, they got some pieces, a rookie that they just drafted in L'Jarius Sneed, and they have some solid pieces, but they always could get better. So I definitely think, adding a guy like William Jackson just for the rest of the season could help that Kansas City Chiefs defense out in that secondary get much better for the rest of the season. So those are a couple teams that I have. There's a couple more coming up, but let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the injury report here. So the first thing that we want to talk about is that Cole Holcomb, okay? This Sunday, Cole Holcomb will be out versus the Indianapolis Colts, as he is dealing with a foot injury. Now, I knew Cole Holcomb was hurt, okay, but I just didn't know how severe it was, and I didn't have no specifics of it. But once I heard them say that it was a foot sprain, it was no way he was playing. And I came to that conclusion once I first found out, but it was no way he was playing. It's a foot sprain. It's going to take probably multiple weeks for that to heal. So having no Cole Holcomb is going to be huge. And I don't even know if he plays next week or the week after that, because, again, it's a foot sprain. It's not nothing that you can just bounce back from, in a couple weeks. This is the thing that you have to elevate. You got to ice it and hit and let it heal itself. So it could be multiple weeks before we have Cole Holcomb, out there. And that is huge, because these guys, Cole Holcomb and Jamie Davis, were just finding their strides, as a unit and as a duo. Now we have to turn to probably John Bostic or David Mayo or someone that we really don't want to turn to alongside Jamie Davis. And this is a huge piece, because this is our starting middle linebacker. This is the guy that get everyone set. This is the guy that calls the plays. This is the guy that res the green dot. Now I'm thinking we're going to lean more to John Bostic, just because he is that veteran presence and he can do that and he can call the plays and he can line everyone else up. Now he's going to be a liability himself, but he has the ability to be mentally smart and mentally ready, but physically he just is unable to perform anymore. So we are back to John Bostic more likely than not. which sucks, but I still have confidence in this team getting it done. Now, let's transition back to the Willam Jackson news here. Now, another team that could possibly use him that I was looking at was probably maybe the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? And the Raiders, they're still at the bottom of the AFC West, but they are going to continue to fight, and they can definitely use some Willam Jackson services. I think Willam Jackson is looking to go to a team that's not just going to use him as a one-year rental. I think he wants to go to a team that's going to have him there for multiple years, so Las Vegas could be a good spot. Thinking about any other team, I'm thinking more so playoff teams, because those are the teams that are probably going to give up the most for him, because they obviously have, a goal in mind and they need some improvement. So I'm trying to think of some more playoff teams. I was thinking maybe Buffalo, but Buffalo, they really don't have too many errors and too many holes they need to fill, so they should be good. Maybe the Rams or something like that. But there's just a couple teams that I want to talk about. We'll leave some teams down below. And what do you think we can get for Willam Jackson? I don't think we're getting no more than a 6 at the highest, and probably more likely than not maybe 2 7s or something like that. But we need to get Willam Jackson out of here. He clearly doesn't want to be here. Ron and his team doesn't want him here anymore. So we just need to wipe our hands clean with that and move on from Willam Jackson III. So let me just get through this video in the comment section down below. What team do you see Willam Jackson going to? What are some trade scenarios that you have for Willam Jackson? And be realistic, guys. Don't say we should trade Willam Jackson and Jamin Davis for a first round or second. No, be realistic here and be serious when you put down your trade scenarios. So I'm interested to see what you guys have for me. And your boy will be live for the game this Sunday. Cannot wait. Hopefully Washington can make it 3 straight and go into Indianapolis and beat the Sam Ehlinger-led Colts. So see you guys tomorrow for my pregame video, and then see you guys Sunday for the game live stream that will probably start at like 4 o'clock, 4:15. We have a late window game this week, so I'm super excited for that. But leave your comments and thoughts down below on this video. As always, me boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hell to the Washington Commanders. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you pop, get you driving.